Thank you very much. I want to say first, before I begin, that it's a humbling experience for me to be able to present to this group, to be amongst these panelists, people of such passion and accomplishment. I'm feeling very humbled right now, and having said that, I'll begin my presentation. I'm pleased to be able to share the results of our modest initiative that we've begun in the Alberta Rocky Mountains. I'll tell you a little bit about who we are, and by we I mean the people who I am representing today, the Hostelling International Canada Pacific Mountain. We are a nonprofit organization. We belong to a national organization, Hostelling International, and that organization has about 60 hostels that are either operated by a nonprofit organization or independently owned, but they're all a part of our network. And HI Canada, in turn, belongs to a national organization which is made up of about 70 national associations, all of whom are charities or nonprofit organizations. Some of them have independent operators within their network as well. Some of them are also, the hostels themselves are run, youth hostels, run as charities or nonprofits. Our organization at an international level, we work closely with the UNESCO and the UN WTO, the United Nations World Tourism Organization, and also we've begun to work with the Global Tourism Sustainable Tourism Council. So that's us. Our mission, and this is a mission that's held by all hosteling associations, is to help all, especially the young, gain a greater understanding of people's, places, and cultures through hosteling. And we emphasize hosteling because it's a means of travel where people are able to meet other travelers, meet one another, get to know others, and learn about cultures through that learning. At our operational core, we offer travel accommodation. That is our area of expertise. For life-changing experiences, which is part of the title of my presentations, we need a number of partners. And I think even among those partners, we might all agree that our most important partner is the Rocky Mountains, the Canadian Rocky Mountains, and they cover Alberta and British Columbia. And I'm going to talk. I'm from Alberta, so I'll be talking mostly about the experiences that we've had in the Alberta Rockies. And that is another view from one of our hostels, HI Beauty Creek in the Jasper National Park. And without the Rocky Mountains, we're just a collection of cabins in the woods. So our other partners, Adapted Adventures. This is a group that's operated by through. This is interesting. Sorry, I say that because I've reordered my presentation, and this is not the way I had thought. This is a surprise slide. All right. Anyway, this is a group of lads who are organized by Adapted Adventures. You can see that they're enthusiastic about their paracycling. So these are going to, I think what's going to come up next here is some shots of the activities that Adapted Adventures does: fishing, cross-country skiing, and they also do rock climbing, paddling, scuba diving, and trail running with the trail rider. And you've seen an example of that, something similar to that in your presentation. And last but not least, and one item that was missing from this presentation is the organization to which Adapted Adventures belongs to. They were a part of the Canadian Paraplegic Association, the Alberta division. They've since moved their operations over to the Paralympic sports based in Alberta. So last but not least, I'll mention now that since they're there on the screen, is Parks Canada. We've worked with them in helping us get our hostels ready to host some of the activities that we're working with Adapted Adventures, and I hope this is what we're going to see next on the screen. I'm not sure. So here's what's next on the screen. We have one of the guiding principles of Parks Canada is the link between the human and environmental relationships. And this is a key to our initiative, at the heart of our initiatives, that people and the environment are inseparable. And we weave that into the way we talk about this initiative, again, that we do with partners, in that the inspiration that you can receive by being exposed to having exposure to the environment, being a part of nature, getting in touch with nature, is a very important part of who we are as human beings. So the themes of this initiative is to offer, this is an old presentation, I'll say it again, but it is to offer health and well-being benefits. There are health and well-being benefits to being outdoors and in the wilderness to all those who are interested and across a range of abilities. The themes of this initiative is to provide a platform, that's what we aim to do, to stretch life skills and to strengthen confidence, and that's by challenging oneself in physical and adventure activities. What we hope to do is to break down myths by both the general population, people who have never met somebody with a disability before, and also by those who have those disabilities. And we aim to do that in a hostelling milieu where there are common spaces such as self-catering kitchens, common rooms, and in the case of this initiative, campfires. That creates opportunities for travelers to meet one another and share one another and impact each other with their stories. And I want to emphasize that we're learning as we go. We've been able to hold 2 such events, and each time we hold one, we learn something new. So, on to the life-changing adventures. This is a shot taken from one of the first that we held, the adapted rock climbing. This is Margaret. She's one of the leaders in the project, and this is where that started. This is obviously on 2 different days because she didn't change her shirt as she went up the rock face. But there was a professional climbing guide to help us, and off she goes. We also, on that weekend, did some trail riding on a popular hike in in the Banff National Park as well, and that is Parker's Ridge. Where exactly is this adventure? We're in Alberta. You can, if you move along to is this going to be to the left of your screen? We're next to British Columbia and next to Saskatchewan, and the Alberta Rockies are along the southwestern border of that province. That is a shot of the ice fields where our hostels that we're working from are located in between Jasper and Lake Louise by and large. And you'll see in the middle of that is the famous Columbia Icefield Center. Our project is expanding the reach of mainstream urban-focused initiatives facilitating the inclusion of people with limited mobility and in activities enjoyed by the general population, and a focus on improved access to the wilderness. We aim to improve accessibility and encourage people with limited mobility to experience the wilderness and the outdoors. And you can see that we've used sometimes some very simple solutions. We aim to do that through activities such as multi-day hand cycling tours and rock climbing and trail riding. And to do so in the unique environment of hostels. It's a culture of conversation. So we got started. We conducted an audit of 7 hostels. We took some notes, and we made some observations. You can see from this quote from the auditor that the key was going in. We all had some concerns going into the audit, but by the end of it and having had conversations, we thought, well, we might be able to do this. And do it, we did. These are the starting points. This is one of our Athabasca hostel. So you can see that we needed to do some work there. That's the entrance to our cookhouse. Transformations look like this. That's the entrance to our cookhouse. And for our sleeping cabin, we connected the 2 cabins with decking and ramps. That represents our most extreme renovation. We also have used some landscaping solutions, and for the most part, there are landscaping solutions, and we use those to smooth the path. We're getting some education on the kind of gravel we need to use, and that's a relatively low-cost solution. We just cut a hole in the fence and made the ground level. And there's another example. And we also do this in front of our outhouses. And yes, I said outhouses. Isn't she lovely? Through this process, we had funding that we were able to secure funding for 2 new outhouses. This is a quote from one of our users. We had 2 groups, and I'm going to whiz through these next photographs. Where's the adventure? The adventure is in the activities. It is an adventure staying at one of our hostels, definitely, but for this purpose, the adventure is in our hostels and in working with the programs that our partners are able to help us offer. So there's an example of the trail rider. This particular model developed by Sam Sullivan and Paul Chermak. Sam Sullivan, you might recall, the former mayor of Vancouver, and the Explorer, developed in our very own province of Alberta by Christian Begg. And here we are at Parker's Ridge. We collect feedback when we hold these camps, and there's ways for us to improve as well, and we take those to heart. I'm going to briefly mention some others in our province who are already in the circle. They're ahead of us on this. The Alberta Parks, on their website, everybody belongs. I'm making a special mention of them. We've just started to connect with Alberta Parks. They take a clear position that the Alberta parks are important to our quality of life. We are committed to making the parks more accessible and inclusive so that everybody benefits from outdoor and recreation and spending time in nature. I'm not the expert in Alberta parks, but I want to leave you with the impression that there is a lot going on in Alberta. We're working hard to make that province accessible. This is an initiative supported by the province and has been for, I'm not going to be able to tell you for how long. And it is open year-round. It is fully accessible. Tomorrow there's a session at 9 o'clock, session 14. I'm hurrying along here. You'll get more information on William Watson Lodge at this and another. Pushed Open Nature Initiative. This is another one of our provincial government's initiatives, and there's going to be more information at session 32 by this gentleman here. We are starting to connect with this additional nonprofit group to help us provide activities at our hostels. I'll whiz through their activities, whizzing right through, and you can see that they're also offering some exciting activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madame Ferguson. Question for Madame? Oh. This side.
Thank you for that very interesting presentation. Could you give us an overview of some of the challenges you face in getting that degree of accessibility implemented in the province? And are you involved or are you connected to anyone who's doing the same thing in other provinces like Quebec or Ontario or whatever?
The biggest hurdle for us is, I'd have to say, well, two hurdles are finances to make sure that we can put the ramps and connect as you could see that there was an extensive renovation at one of our hostels. The other is connecting to groups who are interested in taking part in these activities. It's very early days for us finding partners to work with. As I said, we're accommodation providers, and that's our area of expertise. We need to make connections with the community in order to provide this. Where we look forward to making connections with others in the provinces and around the world.
Une autre question, je vais aller du côté gauche cette fois-ci.
Yes, I was wondering, what is the physical condition, for participants that are living with a disability, is it open to anyone, or you have to be in a good physical condition to be able to do the, so I'm just thinking if I would bring a group, can my group have different disability, have different level of physical condition and...
Yeah, I think we will rely very much on the groups to ask questions as to what we have, so that we'll be able to answer your questions as to what is required by the people in your group. There is a range of abilities, and we have worked with just 2 groups, mostly with limited mobility has been our core focus. And there's been people who are in wheelchair. We've had quadriplegic, paraplegic, and others who are able to move with a walker. But again, we rely on the groups that we're partnering with to tell us what they can and cannot do. So the initial dialogue is important.
I had the pleasure of staying at the Banff hostel back when it was first built, and it was fabulous. But my question is, if I came as an individual, would I be able to access any of these activities, or is it really focused on group?
If you came as an individual, you would need to tell us, and we would make contact with the people that we do know, and I think we might be able to help you out. People like for example, the government of Alberta and the programs that they operate, I think would be pretty well placed to assist, and also the Rocky Mountain Adapted Adventures. So if you contact, we'd start contacting our own our contacts in the province. So then there is, if I'll just steal a few minutes, I have got my card attached to some materials in the back, so if you do want to follow up with any questions at all, please do so.
Une autre question? Ça sera la dernière question pour la période.
Ce que vous venez de nous montrer, j'aimerais parler
excuse me.
d'un sujet. Lorsqu'on parle des personnes sourdes qui ont à mobilité, des personnes qui sont sourdes, aveugles, et en partie qui perdent souvent leur équilibre. Ce qui est bien, c'est que tout le sol est très bien nivelé. C'est excellent, surtout même pour les personnes qui ont des problèmes de vision. C'est une idée que je vous fais part. Donc, s'il y a des personnes qui ont des problèmes de vision, je trouve que c'est un bel endroit même à aller.
Thank you.
Thank you.
OK, merci.